I received an email which goes something like this. I'm 35 years old and have been following the path of creativity as a professional photographer since the age of 18. Photography has been more than a career for me, it's a passion that has brought immense joy and fulfillment. I have been fortunate to build a life around the things I love: traveling, soaking in beautiful sunsets, enjoying lazy afternoons, and staying deeply aware of the fleeting moments of life. My spiritual for lack of a better word, journey began in my early 20s when I discovered Osho and B.K. Shivani, which later led me to explore Buddhism, J. Krishnamurti, and U.G. Krishnamurti. Over time, I found myself unlearning much of what I had absorbed. A couple of years ago, I entered into a relationship. While there have been moments of joy and romance, much of my experience has been marked by inner conflict, anxiety, and a sense of disconnection. I had one serious relationship in my early 20s, from 19 to 22, but after that I remained single until I was 33. The usual anxiety of being in a relationship is compounded by the challenge of resisting societal expectations, especially when my parents, whom I live with, question my decision not to get married. Additionally, the financial disparity between my partner and me creates dilemmas about various aspects of our relationship. Her parents' situation adds another layer of stress as they have no savings or a home of their own. This weighs heavily on me because, as an artist, I can't provide financial support for two set of parents. I feel a growing fear of inheriting yet another layer of dependency through my relationship. I have communicated the same to her. I have also struggled with differences in how we approach the relationship. My perspective on romance has shifted significantly since my 20s, and I no longer hold the same ideals. My partner, who is 24, still does, which creates a disconnect at times. Fortunately, she's not fixated on the idea of marriage, which aligns with my own views. I am content meeting once a week while my partner prefers daily interaction. So this is the crux of this question for me, because this seems to create conflict. I deeply resonate with your perspective of not feeling compelled to do anything. And for over a year, I have felt a similar detachment. I no longer feel the desire to achieve something grand, impress anyone, gain fame, or even pursue ambitious creative projects. There is a sense of nothingness that has been pervasive. The pandemic introduced severe anxiety into my life, which was previously foreign to me. It often intensifies during moments of conflict or indecision. I wonder how this anxiety will subside and when I might finally be free from all psychological suffering. I hope to gain some guidance or perspective on navigating this phase of my life, the relationship and the psychological suffering. So, quoting Jiddu Krishnamurti, life is a relationship and the action that is born out of the relationship. Now, whatever has been said by this person about the parent situation, let's just consider that separately. and just discuss the dynamic between the person and his partner, where he says that I am content meeting once a week while my partner prefers daily interactions. Now, this can be a bit of a challenge in relationships because one requires more and the other is quite okay with less. So, how does this work? Now, the common guidance that is given to us is that when a relationship is formed, it is based on understanding. And out of that understanding, love happens, which according to me is a flawed concept because love has to be the substratum of a relationship. And the understanding happens out of love. Because when love is present, one does not build a foundation of a relationship based on what is conventionally correct, what is considered as normal by society. But one lays the foundation on how one feels in a relationship. So I would ask, do you feel comfortable? Do you feel peaceful? Do you feel safe with your partner? Is your inner conflict about, let's say, meeting once a week or having little contact with your partner? Is it about the partner or is it something within yourself? That needs to be examined. Let's just focus on us, on the person who has written this email. Let's just focus on our conditioning for the time being and forget about what the other person's conditioning is. Why do I feel that I need less contact? Is that my reality, or is there an undercurrent of anxiety that is running, that is dominating my life? The anxiety that if a person comes too close, I may be hurt again. Sometimes we operate from that consciousness where we feel that if we allow people to come close, we will be hurt. And then mind, as a protective measure, will create a boundary, immediately put up a wall. And it will say that, no, you have been doing this since very long time, and this seems safe, so let's go with this. Let's put up a wall. So is the need for little contact genuine, really genuine, or is it coming out of a fear? That needs to be examined. Now, in case of your partner, let's say if she requires a lot of contact, even she needs to sit and examine where exactly is this coming from. And the two of you, can you sit together and try to work a middle ground? Now, this may not work. I'm not here giving a solution. All I'm trying to say is that you can try your level best. But ultimately, if the foundation of that, which is love, between you two is strong, the relationship will survive. Not just survive, it will thrive. The initial hiccups will not be a problem. But if the love, the foundation is not there, no understanding can save it. So when the love is strong, what the parent situation is, what circumstances one is, these things become inconsequential. And understanding comes from love. Love is not born out of understanding. Understanding strengthens the bond, that is true, but the love has to be there. I'm talking about a romantic relationship. I'm talking about emotional love. Then there is deeper love, but that's another topic to discuss. So when the foundation is strong, things can be worked out. A middle ground can be found by both people, where one can understand the other's need for less contact, and at the same time, the other can also respect that and try, at least from their end, to give more contact and see how one feels about that. So you can examine what is stopping you from giving your partner more contact. Take small steps and see. Maybe try like twice a week first, then increase it to thrice a week and see how you feel about it. And if your partner is really understanding, that means the foundation of love between you two is strong. She can respect that you are a person who's designed by the universe in this way, that you require less contact. You are probably more introverted. You are more of a self-contemplator. And they can give you that space for you to do all the activities that you want. And you can accept that your partner, she requires more contact and she's more outgoing personality, and probably she likes to be more extroverted, because that is how universe has designed her. And if the love between you two is strong, then there can be an understanding that a middle ground, a middle path can be approached by both people. And what the parental situation is, or any other situation around you is inconsequential. It is all about you and your partner. You can communicate to your partner that you are an artist and you are not in a position to support two families. And if there is no acceptance of that fact by your partner, then you can reassess what this relationship has in store for you. And you can discuss your feelings, your genuine feelings with her. And I believe that when two people are really in love, which is not just based on feeling or emotional highs or hormones, it is based on simply acceptance, a common thread, a common bond that cannot be broken. So everything around begins to work out. It starts working out on its own. In fact, what you will see that your partner will start taking part or showing interest in your creativity, in your photography, or anything that you do. Or even when you don't do anything, it will be fine. It is all about being honest about one's aspect in life. And it's just that the human personality is not the absolute layer of reality. It can change. You never know, tomorrow you may pick up an ambitious creative project. You can change, or even your partner can experience some spiritual understanding, and they may become, their personality may change, and they may prefer less contact, and you may be wanting more contact. It can happen the other way around too. Life is not constant. Personalities are not constant. But the underlying foundation, which is love, that is constant, that remains. If that is not there, then nothing can save a relationship. So the thing is, all this anxiety which is stemming, do examine. I'm not trying to give you a solution here. I'm not saying that I'm telling you anything that will dissolve the anxiety. But do examine, what is this, where is this undercurrent of anxiety stemming from? It is stemming from a story that has It's sustenance in the mind, the separative mind, the fragmented mind. Now, the fragmented mind by nature does not want to resolve conflicts. It wants to continue conflicts because that ensures its survival. So, the fragmented mind, what is a fragmented mind? It is a mind that is tied up to different aspects of life. My parents, her parents, how do I please them? How do I earn more money? If I don't earn more money, I will not be accepted in life. My self-worth will be questioned. But I have had spiritual experiences, therefore I cannot work and the society will not accept me. I must get this, I must get that, I must have fulfilling relationships, my equation with my parents should be okay, my equation with my to-be-in-laws should be okay too. But you see, all of this is just fragmented mind living in a future fantasy. And fragmented mind by nature is conflict. So anxiety is coming from the identifications that we create around us. I should have this, I should have that. Life should be like this, life should not be like that. But what if one completely surrenders to this anxiety? That we never question. Jiddu Krishnamurti says that anxiety or suffering that comes from it is an amazing thing. Now I'm saying something controversial here. He says that's your playground for observation. That is where give your total attention and see where the anxiety stems from. Don't try to stop it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to avoid it. Just be totally attentive to it and you see something beautiful emerging out of it. Now that said, I would give a disclaimer that if your nervous system is too stimulated and it is harming you, physically harming you, or mentally making you completely incapacitated, then by all means seek professional help or whatever is required in a given moment. And there are various other practices like meditation, yoga, mindfulness that can help you with the momentary nervous system stimulation. But deep down, the conflict, the root of the conflict is the fragmented mind that is unable to accept things as they are. Anxiety comes from this movement of mind which says that things have to be the way I want them. So, we try to change variables around us. My parents should be perfect. My partner should be perfect. While I can just live my life. But reality. Because people are different. People change. In fact, we ourselves change. What you were 10 years or 15 years before, you are not now the same entity. You have changed, right? Your partner can also change. Your situation with parents will also change. So, all in all, my perspective is that the psychological suffering can be eliminated by the acceptance of the relationship the way it is. Now, whether one is to stay in a relationship or not, whether it is a good relationship or not, that has to be determined by you only. Nobody can decide that for you. All in all, relationship on a daily basis should bring peace and harmony, which includes the roller coasters that one experiences in life. There is peace in that unrest too. That is what I'm talking about. Peace does not mean things being perfect. Peace means simply acceptance of what is. Things as they are. the the unaltered and unpredictable flow of life. Total acceptance of that. And then see how this plays out for you. Because relationships are important. And Ramesh Balsekar said that peace in daily living has to be found through relationships. It is the highest practice, so as to speak. But I'm not giving you a solution. I'm only pointing to your own self, pointing you to your own self. And I'm saying just examine as to what is the underlying story running which is creating all this anxiousness. And is this need for less contact genuine, or is it coming out from a fear? Fear of the mind, the fragmented mind, which thinks that it will be hurt if it's abandoned again. If this underlying story is seen for what it is, then there will not be any fear. And without fear, the relationship definitely will be more fulfilling. This may take a lot of time. This may take a lot of contemplation too. But if the connection between you two is strong, then it will definitely work out, and there will be understanding, and there will be a lot of space given to each other for contemplation. But do not throw away something based on what is heard or what is conventional or what is, propagated by the society. Don't even listen to me. See and evaluate through your own experience. Because you know best what your situation is. Other than that, there's nothing to be done as such, but to just see how all these things are playing out in the mind and how they are creating different fragments which are causing pain and suffering. This suffering is your pointer. This suffering is a blessing. Buddha never fought his suffering. Buddha invited suffering. What that means is Buddha created space for the mental patterns to play out. It didn't mean that he put himself in danger or put himself in a difficult situation. I'm not saying you deliberately have to put yourself in a difficult situation. But before you say that this is my personality and this is the other person's personality, just examine if there is a layer of reality to it, or is it just the habitual mind playing out a pattern? Trying to be safe. Because mind wants to protect itself, the fragmented mind. It wants safety, it wants security. It is not interested in its dissolution, which is peace. But it is interested only in the continuation of the drama that plays out. That gives it life. So all you can do is just communicate to the parents, to your parents, probably to her, about your situation, about what life has provided you and what you want to pursue as of now. And then it's her call. She may accept it, she may not accept it. We cannot control that. So acceptance of what is peace. I hope this answers your question and brings you relief.